Hello, Gamer Nom is back. So for today's video, I am going to show you a low budget strategy on how to do boss hunts. Okay, I only used one skill to defeat all bosses, and as you can see, the class of my character is only Reaper. I haven't even unlocked Soru when I defeated these bosses. But before we continue, thank you to all the supporters! We've reached 8,000 subscribers! Again, this channel will be nothing without all you supporters. Again, thank you. So let's proceed. I made this video to show all of you, new players, that you can defeat all bosses. Look at that. My class is Reaper, no Soru. Look at the boss drops. I haven't unlocked anything, but I will be able to defeat that boss. So I will be showing you a strategy, all newbies, new players out there, or other players that is having a hard time with this game. Check this out. Noel's Grimoire, 76.92% chance to unlock, very easy, and I want you to focus on this skill, the Sea Dragon's Water Orbs. Why? Because the cooldown of this skill is only 1 second. It's like no cooldown at all. This is a long range attack and very easy to aim. So let's try it. Let's go. First off is Dimension 1. Look at that. Actually, I really had fun defeating these bosses because I really need to dodge the attack of the enemy, the slash, etc., the tail beast bomb. Comparing it to my main account, where I just defeated the boss by just hitting it 11 times, 10, 11 to 14. So it's a challenge at the same time. I really want to show you all players out there that you can defeat bosses and gain boss drops. Okay, now I want to talk about boss drops. Guys, the boss drops are rare, so it's not easy to get those. But every time you cycle, meaning you defeat 5 tiers of bosses, the chances of getting those drops increase. Again, every time you defeat a boss from tier 1 to tier 5, the next set of tiers, 1 to 5, will increase the chances of you getting boss drops or dimension boosts. For the dimension 2 is Broly. For me, this is the hardest boss. So I included Sakura and Super Saiyan, and you can easily get those two. If you can see, I am having a hard time because Broly is faster than Kurama, and I really need to master the pattern of Broly's hits and counting during this fight. 1, 2, attack, attack, attack. Okay, it's very hard to dodge that skill of Broly. That's why I really hate this boss, but I really did my best as a Reaper to show you that this boss is beatable. The only thing that, or the skill of Broly that hits me is that laser, that annoying laser. I don't know why. Aside from that, you can dodge all the skills. If you're gonna ask me, this is the hardest boss. Next is All for One, followed by Kurama, and the easiest is Beast King. Our next boss, Dimension 3. For you out there who haven't watched my videos regarding Beast King, the pattern of this boss is very easy. First, he will try to bite you twice, and then he will do the thunder thing. One, right there. The next one bite, and the other one is the laser. Okay, so that is very easy to dodge. No thrill. Wow, just joking, guys. Guys, if you just unlock this Grimoire of Noel, it's so cool. Almost no cooldown. You keep on hitting the enemy and you run, hit and run, hit and run. So yeah, I really enjoyed fighting this boss. Again, guys, I am making this video to all the new players, the newbies, and for the ones who is having a hard time killing the boss. This will serve as a motivation for you. If you really want to do boss hunts, unlock all the boss drops, then here's a strategy for you. This boss is almost done. Again, the easiest boss. But before that, let's visit Deluber first. There, he's training. You say hi, bro. So yeah, I know you're busy training. You will soon become a god of destruction, Hakaishin. So for this final boss that I mentioned before, someone already is fighting the boss. So look at that, tier 3. Again, a Reaper. Without Sorrow defeating a tier 3. This round really wants me to win. Look, because at some point in this round, All for One got stuck. So cool, guys. Look, oh, now I'm telling myself, oh, this is very easy. I can show everyone that luck is a skill. Because I was killing this boss happily. There you go. Something bad happened. I was really shocked. It moved. But we are ready and we know that we can defeat this even though it did not glitched or bugged. So there you go. Again, memorize the pattern of the skills of this enemy and everything will be okay. After this boss, I will be doing shoutouts to show my appreciation to all the viewers, the subscribers and the supporters. I posted something on my channel wherein if they commented there, they will be included in the individual shoutouts. Okay, so this boss is done. For the shoutouts, shout out to Her Simon Pahente, shout out to Cho MLYT, shout out to Alexander Nestle Mendoza, shout out to Shikigami, shout out to Earl Garcia, shout out to Legends Gamers _ Senpai, shout out to Ina Zalina, shout out to Steady BG, shout out to Nailuri John Babu, shout out to Ultimate Anime Lover, shout out to Naluri Jan Babu, shout out to Lance Labik, shout out to Paul Estrobo, shout out to Narwhal Powers, shout out to Folded Art _34, shout out to Adrian Fermin Andaya, shout out to Portgas B8, shout out to Yaboy J, shout out to Christian Mize, shout out to Kevin Ramos, shout out to Sachin Singh 48, shout out to John Joel Zane, shout out to Elgin Gaming YT, shout out to Ramirich Hipolito, shout out to Allen Joshua Torres, shout out to Raghav Sony, shout out to Cho Gaming TV, shout out to Rainbow, I forgot your name again, shout out to Dastan Gunnar Alfarisi, shout out to Andre Valerio, shout out to Call of Duty Mobile Fan, shout out to Kian Kyle Banzuela, shout out to WTF Bro, shout out to YouTube Zach, shout out to Priyanka Singh, shout out to Mr. No Name, shout out to Rohan Villa Gamer, shout out to Jotaro Kujo, shout out to Paul Ronnie, shout out to Reggie, shout out to Glenn Lawrence Dukyatan, shout out to John Michael Guevara, shout out to Sneaky Leaf, shout out to Arsurus Cool, shout out to Luis Marcelo Flores, shout out to Raid Cueto, shout out to Romnick Supenya, shout out to Manny B, shout out to John, next shout out to Shoto Todoroki, shout out to Jason Santilian, shout out to Dagul Feminir Place, shout out to Yuan X Justice, shout out to Lorenzo Gale Hernandez, shout out to Prince of Abyss, shout out to Kang Place, Shoutout to C Gaming. Shoutout to Romelin List. Shoutout to Supot. Shoutout to Surety Sud. Shoutout to John Paul Isaac Condes. Shoutout to Jose Martinez. Shoutout to Gamers Spot. Shoutout to Kemari Hall. Shoutout to Vijayan Balakrishnan. Shoutout to Ken Bautista. Shoutout to Jocelyn Sikat. Shoutout to Epic Gaming PH. Shoutout to Kevisel Ketsoza. Shoutout to It's Nightlight 67. Shoutout to Rain Andrew Bacor. Shoutout to Juan Benedicto De Leon. Shoutout to Corazon 55M. Shoutout to Noobman234. Shoutout to Kagalingan Alexander. Shoutout to Sagittarius Gaming YT. Shoutout to Zora Zora. Shoutout to Kaike PYXL. And last but not the least, shoutout to 4X Rever RBX. Okay, so that will be it for the shoutouts. Again guys, thank you for all the support that you're giving me. I appreciate that all. See you on my next video. Again, thank you and bye-bye.